what we have the opportunity to do, which is very, very cool, is see how these guys use it. So let's one more time give it up for our good friend Bwack. This is a big night in Bwack's life. He has a mic.
They've never given me a mic.
We're going to do some Eagles songs after this, or maybe some Dave Matthews, and you can hit the mic stand and like flip it around like Carter both.
All right.
That'd be cool.
All right.
So Bwack's going to take us through, show us how you guys, like what your Ableton set looks like.
So this is my Ableton set. Vertical columns, so different from his. Horizontal lines on his were tracks, and the timeline moved from left to right. Mine doesn't really have a timeline. The vertical columns are tracks. So orange on the left is all my loops. The two green tracks, I have audio clicks and MIDI clicks. So I use two different kinds. Yellow is trigger, which is this thing. And then I have a vocoder one. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. Mine, so like this horizontal line is captured. If I hit play, this is our captured loop. So as I go through the night, song to song, I just move down. If you notice, when I hit play on that, the line is actually going to move itself down one. I'm not doing that. It does that itself. That way, I can just keep hitting play, and it just keeps moving down. So I have a button here. I have this Akai. It's like a little trigger finger pad thing. I have my play button there. I can hit it with the stick, and I can just go through the night. And I really never have to hit stop, as long as we do our set list and don't change. I do have an up-down cursor on this pad, too. So if I need to reach over and move my cursor, I can. But for the most part, I can go through a whole hour-and-a-half concert. Just when it's time to start the next song, I move forward. That's
one thing that's really cool about Session View, is if you guys are on the road and for whatever reason you want to go to a different song, you can have all your songs in one window, and you're not searching to go open a file, and you just hit arrow down play. He doesn't have to touch the computer unless you really want to.
So the yellow track that's triggered, this guy, one nice thing it does, I have clips there that load the sounds for me, so that's another thing I don't have to do. When I start captured, it automatically loads those sounds. When I start oceans, it'll automatically. Those are my ocean sounds. So on and so forth, all night long. I don't really have to think about that. When it's time to play it, the sounds are there, it's ready to go.
It's good.
Oh, and one last thing. In Session View, another nice thing you can do over on the master, the far right, this is just a cool thing Ableton did. If you name your scene, so if you name this horizontal row 142 space BPM, Ableton picks up on that and it goes, oh, he wants that to be 142 BPM. So when I start that song, it locks the global tempo in the top left corner to 142. And then when I start the next song, it locks the tempo. So I have sounds for my trigger pad that have delays. So like this song, there's that delay and some reverb, but the delay, whether it's a dotted eighth or an eighth note delay, I don't have to worry about the tempo either. It'll change the tempo, which then that delay that's built into the drum rack is right and synced up.
That's great. That's cool. So what's really neat is Bwack has everything laid out in scenes. So those horizontal things, we call them scenes. He's got the set built. And I think that's a perfect example of Ableton's a great tool because you don't play to it and you don't like get locked into what it is. Like it plays to you and it adjusts to you. So if you want to use a drum pad, you can do that. If you want to change the order of your songs on the fly, you can do that, which is really, really cool.